Watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too. And I want y'all adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of like just moving on has been something I try to
just let a massive detail slip about her unrivaled contract. And trust me, this one's worth paying attention to, because with Reese, even when things look squeaky clean, they somehow end up raising eyebrows. And this time the target of her headline making chaos, none other than Unrivaled, the shiny new women's basketball league that's promising to shake up the way we think about sports contracts.
Angel Reese, she is a huge star!
There is no one like Caitlin Clark.
So get this, Reese isn't just planning to dribble her way to glory this time. Instead, she's talking ownership. That's right, she's not settling for a paycheck like the rest of the roster. She's set to snag some serious equity in the league itself.
Another recognizable name on the roster, Angel Reese, who has got to be absolutely terrified. It is not going to be a good Christmas for the villainous Angel. Makes anyone think Angel Reese has the drawing power to carry a new league.
And before you start scratching your head trying to figure out how this all adds up, don't worry, we've got the inside scoop on the how, why, and when.
Uncomfortable, bruh. Let's go down and look, see what other people had to say after that. This commenter stated, homegirl is visibly uncomfortable, but she was comfortable enough to dress like that in public.
This could get very bad very quickly for Unrivaled. You're already offering a product that no one asked for. You're offering a product that oversaturates the market. And you're launching the league without...
So the new women's 3-on-3 league, co-founded by WNBA Nifa Clyer and Brianna Stewart, is taking the basketball world by storm before it even officially launches. And Reese is the center of attention this time.
She don't want to be sexualized. Angel Reese has said time and time again, she never wanted to be sexualized. But look at the stuff you wear, bruh.
And it would not be exaggeration if I will say Angel Reese will be one of the first players to get a piece of the unrivaled pie. And we're not talking about some measly 112% stake in the country. No, Reese is set to snag a cool 15% equity in the league. And that's not just some paper promise either. Reese's slice is valued at $15 million right out of the gate. Not bad for a player who's still in the early stages of her career, huh? And as the league grows, that equity is expected to increase dramatically, potentially reaching $66 million by 2035. So yeah, Angel Reese just set herself up for a serious payday.
Recognizable name on the roster, Angel Reese, who has got to be absolutely terrified. It is not going to be a good Christmas for the villainous.
His pay in the unrivaled basketball league is significantly more lucrative than her potential earnings in the WNBA. Not only will Rhea earn a substantial salary, but she also holds a 15% ownership stake in the league valued at $15 million. That's a game changer if Unrivaled follows the same growth trajectory as the NBA, NFL, and MLB. Reese's equity share could rise to a jaw-dropping $66 million by 2035. This is an unprecedented opportunity in women's sports, where players can build long-term wealth beyond their salaries. So while Reese might have earned a respectable salary in the WNBA, the pay and Unrivaled with both the high salary and the ownership stake is leagues ahead in comparison.
Not competitive. Reese might have been the queen of LSU, but Clark? She's the queen of basketball, period. Reese is out here talking about surpassing Clark, while Caitlin's already out here redefining the entire game. But sure, Reese, tell me more about how you're going to dethrone a legend when you haven't even got...
Now, let's talk about how this actually works. Unrivaled has flipped the script on women's sports contracts by offering players more than just a paycheck. They're giving them a stake in the league itself. That's right, players in the inaugural season will get a share of ownership. Think about that for a second. Reese isn't just out there hustling for cash, she's hustling for a future, while the rest of the sports world is still focused on how much players can make in a single season. Unrivaled is offering something far more lucrative, the chance to get rich off of the league's success. We're talking long-term big money, and it's a strategy that could pay off for Reese big.
not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to
Not kid ourselves. Reese didn't just stumble into this opportunity because she's a great player. She's making waves because she knows how to leverage her star power. Reese, much like her peers and Unrivaled, is benefiting from the league's focus on its players' individual brands. Unrivaled understands that these athletes are not just basketball players, they're entrepreneurs, social media mogul, and cultural icons. Reese has taken full advantage of her platform, growing a massive following on social media, and using her spotlight to advocate for women's sports and the need for more equitable pay this contract. It's the perfect culmination of all that hustle.
Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like...
Let's not ignore the fact that Unrivaled has built its league with Reese and her fellow players in mind. It's no coincidence that the league is being launched at the height of Reese's popularity, with her being one of the most marketable and recognizable faces in women's basketball. But Reese isn't the only player who stands to benefit here. The rest of the league's roster made up of WNBA stars like Skylar Diane-Smith, Brittany Griner, and Kelsey Plum are also getting in on the action, enjoying the same ownership stake. But let's be real here, Reese is the one everyone is talking about. And that's not just because of her on-court performance parents, it's because she's got the kind of brand power that others can only dream of. She has what it takes to surpass Clark, the player who's out there making history every season. The only thing Reese has perfected so far is making a mockery of herself. But hey, maybe she's collecting awards for being pathetic. Sure looks that way before Reese opens her mouth about taking over the WNBA. She might want to check her reputation first. Changing coaches won't make her the highlight. She needs an attitude adjustment first. Now about that contract, the sound eyes, oh yes, they're huge. No more scraping by for women's athletes. Unrivaled is changing the narrative here too. These players will be making six-figure salaries from day one, positioning Unrivaled as the highest paying women's sports league in the world. And who's leading the charge? None other than Angel Reese, the player who's already been dominating on the court and now is set to dominate the business side of things too. But let's not forget, this is still just the beginning. The league has only just been announced, and with Reese's contract setting a new standard, it's only a matter of time before other sports leagues start taking notes. Angel Reese spoke to the media. She didn't speak to the media after the game against Caitlin Clark. For those who don't see the magnitude of this, let's put it into perspective. Reese is not just securing her financial future, she's securing the future of women's basketball in a way no one else has been able to before. By becoming an owner, Reese is ensuring that her influence extends beyond just the court. She's not simply a part of the league, she's shaping its future. And with her being one of the few women athletes in history to have such an arrangement, Reese is setting the stage for an entirely new era of women's sports. This is bigger than basketball. This is about creating a legacy. It's easy to see why this deal has the potential to change the entire landscape of women's sports. Reese isn't just playing for her team, she's playing for the future. And while other players are still relying on traditional contracts and sponsorships, Reese is already miles ahead, playing the long game. And the fact that she's doing all this while still in her early 20s, that's downright applause. Music? Impressive, yes they are, but let's be honest for a second, this whole thing isn't just about Reese building an empire, it's about the Unrivaled league making a statement. Women athletes are just as valuable as their male counterparts, and they should be treated as such with the kind of equity that Reese and her fellow players are getting. Unrivaled is showing the world that they're not just here to play, they're here to dominate. And as Reese's contract shows, there's no reason why women can't be the ones calling the shots, both on the court and in the boardroom. And that's where things get really interesting. Reese's contract might be the first, but it won't be the last. Other athletes will see what she's doing and will want a piece of that action. They'll want to own a part of the league. Just like Reese, they'll want to ensure that they're not just collecting checks, they're collecting wealth. And as Unrivaled grows, so too will the fortunes of the players involved. So yeah, Angel Reese just leaked some big news, and it's a game changer. She's not just setting herself up for a lucrative career in basketball, she's setting herself up for a future where she's an owner, a brand, and a trailblazer. And if this deal is any indication, the rest of the sports world better watch out. Reese is coming for more than just the title of best player, she's coming for the title of business mogul. And if this contract is any indication, it's a title she'll probably win in the end. Angel Reese isn't just a player, she's a pioneer. She's changing the landscape for college athletes, proving that women can be just as big of a deal, if not bigger, than their male counterparts. This contract isn't just about money, it's about rewriting history. Angel Reese is making sure that her name isn't just known, it's legendary. And when you look at the kind of contract she's landed, it's clear that the world is watching, and they're not going to forget her anytime soon.